Alright guys, so we moved on now from heart transplant to something else more interesting, even more interesting for me personally, I guess, and it is euthanasia. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because without my dad, there's no me. And my dad's cancer. He's going through surgery in Taiwan right now. And when he goes, I go. So I don't know how long I have, and that is the truth. So I want to put this out to you guys, and I hope you guys understand the legality of it. All right, so let's start. Euthanasia is the intentional ending of a life threatening to relieve pain and suffering. Keep that in mind. With various forms, including physician-administered euthanasia and self-administered euthanasia. The practice is legal in some places, such as Canada, under the conditions for medical assistance in dying called MAID, M-A-I-D, while in others, like UK, and parts of UK, it is still illegal and considered as a murder or assisted suicide. And it is true. Canada was like that once, US was like that once. The term is also used in veterinary medicine, obviously, when we put the dog down, when we put the pet down, to end their life. It's sad, but I never had to do it, but that's the truth. Where veterinary humanly end a pet's life to alleviate the suffering. Remember that, alleviate suffering. So the key aspect of euthanasia is the purpose, obviously, to end the suffering and terminally ill or incurable ill patients. Types: active euthanasia, which is physician-administered MAID. A doctor or nurse directly administered a lethal substance, like when you capital punishment. That is one of the ways for assisted suicide, which I'm talking about next. A doctor provides the means for an eligible person to end their own life. It's defined as assisted suicide. Voluntary versus involuntary. Euthanasia can be classified as voluntary, which is with consent. Non-voluntary, where the person cannot consent, which that goes to the guardian, the legal guardian, or the next of kin. So that's non-voluntary. Or involuntary, which is without consent, and that is considered as a murder. That's not euthanasia. I don't know why they wrote that. Legal statutes in different jurisdictions. In Canada, the practice of voluntary active euthanasia, termed physical assisted dying or medical assistance in dying MAID, is legal for eligible individuals with a reasonable, foreseeable, natural death. In the United States, while the U.S. Supreme Court has allowed states to determine their own policies, some states and District of Columbia have legalized forms of assisted suicide through death with dignity loss. Now, what I'm going to talk about, in the U.S. is actually a lot more, I guess, not advanced, open, or underground, I would say, when it comes to assisted suicide. I have read stories about people going from Canada or other parts of the world that go to U.S. to find a doctor for assisted suicide. And there are doctors that specialize in that. So, they'll give you propofol or whatever, put you to sleep, just like capital punishment, and they'll give you a lethal injection. You don't feel anything, and you just leave. And I think that's very humane, that definitely is how I want to die. And like I said, I don't know how long I have in this world, so I hope you guys are aware of that. Now, there is something that's important that the judge said. The important changes to Canada's medical assistance in dying law are officially enforced, particularly for those who are suffering intolerably, with anxious to see changes become a reality. All right. So in summary, the Council of Canadian Academics completed a review in 3 areas where MAID was not allowed under the 2016 legislation. First, requests by mature minors. Second, advance request. I will explain that if you guys want to know. Third, which is what I want to talk about, request where a mental disorder is the sole underlying medical condition. Jenna's commentary. While it is a legislation, I do not support the fact that requests where a mental health disorder is the sole underlying medical condition is to be outside of the criteria of legal euthanasia. If you think about it, you're living with, let's say, depression, chronic pain like me, things that you cannot handle anymore. I only tell my doctor, make sure that you're ready, because I'm ready. When my dad goes, I go. And he goes, well, and then I gotta refer you to a suicide doctor. I said, yeah. So if someone's living with depression, like let's say Dr. Jordan Peterson's, family has, a history of depression. I mean, you can see it in his eyes as well. Obviously, he's doing very, very, very well. He challenged ULT, he challenged the world, and I loved him to death. But let's say somebody like I have, literally when I was in the hospital for PTSD, I've seen many, many people that has clinical depression, which is dependent depression that happens due to an event or something that's drastic in your life, and they won't be, they can't do anything. And like ADHD, I rely on my method. Finally, people that are clinical depressed, they need to rely on SSRI or SNRIs, and sometimes they don't work, and they try again and again, and just kind of like a roller coaster. My friend who is schizophrenic, she suicided many times, and I don't know how she lived like that. I don't personally believe people should live like that. And if they want to leave and they have a mental health condition, that is the biggest thing in the world. That is more than physical pain, right? Think about it. That's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you.